Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where today I'm going to be previewing the first Premier League game of the season for Man City, and this weekend we are going up against Tottenham Hotspur. Now this game feels a bit weird given the fact that most of the summer there's been this transfer speculation about Harry Kane and whether he would be joining Man City this summer. At this moment in time, he hasn't and is expected to be in the squad for Tottenham against Man City this weekend, despite the fact that Harry Kane wants to join Man City. But obviously the price tag and everything like that is just absolute madness. But I'm not going to go on about Harry Kane too much in this video. So what I may do is do a separate video on my thoughts about the Harry Kane situation, depending on whether he does join Man City or whether he ends up staying at Tottenham. So I don't want to talk about him too much in this video, but I want to talk about Tottenham as a club. So Tottenham last season had, I'd say, a very bright start under Jose Mourinho. They were top of the league and there were people saying that Tottenham were going to win the league, given how well Harry Kane and Heung-min Son were doing. All the other players were stepping up as well. But by the time it got to December last year, they were sort of falling off the pace a bit. You could see in some games Mourinho was getting found out against some of the bigger teams, so the likes of Thomas Tuchel, Jurgen Klopp, Guardiola, and a few other managers as well were starting to know what system Tottenham were playing. But mixed in with that, it didn't help that the players were starting to get worse. Like, they were getting found out by the time it did get to the start of this year. And then to make matters worse for Tottenham, by the time they reached the final of the Carabao Cup against Man City, there was all this storylines about the Super League, and in the midst of all of that, Tottenham just sacked Jose Mourinho. Like, he led the club to a final, which they were so close in getting a trophy under Mourinho, and they just sacked Mourinho. Like, it was just, it didn't feel right at the time because of everything that was going on with the Super League. And then by that stage, Ryan Mason was in charge. Like, he was in charge of the youth team. Like, and now he's in charge of the last couple of games for Tottenham. So it was a bit of a strange end to the season. Like, even though it was more enjoyable and they were playing football that Tottenham fans were liking, it just felt really weird for Tottenham in the season that has just gone. And then from all of that, their managerial search was just absolute joke. So with the managerial search, they were going through the likes of Julian Nagelsmann, Antonio Conte, Paulo Fonseca, I think that's his name, and Gattuso, and they went through so many managers in the hope that they would have somebody in. But it took until Nuno Espirito Santo to come into the managerial role, and he was like their 13th choice or something daft like that. So when I look at the managerial side of things, whilst I think Nuno Espirito Santo, for him, is a step up in managerial roles, given that he was at Wolves and now he wants to try it a bigger club elsewhere in the Premier League. Is it a manager that Tottenham were really expecting to come into the side? No, given how far down the list he was. I feel like Tottenham were trying to do things better and trying to go with an actual direction this time. But it is just a question mark of whether Harry Kane does stay or not. And I know I wouldn't mention him at all, but that's been the speculation all summer for them. And maybe the positive in that is that you don't see what Tottenham have been doing in pre-season, unless you are a Tottenham fan. But with all of that going on, you don't think about how they're actually playing and what style of play they're going to be doing. So for me, I have no idea what Tottenham are going to be doing this weekend. What players they're going to be playing and what formation they're going to be doing. Whether they'll do a 3-4-3 formation like what Santo did at Wolves and try and implement it at Tottenham. I don't know. I don't know about Tottenham, so let's move on to Man City side of things. So for Man City, it's been a bit of a weird summer. I mean, it's been like that for a lot of clubs already. We've been playing a lot of our youth players, and we've had some first team players in pre-season, and we had wins against Preston, Barnsley and Blackpool, which obviously is not going to excite everyone in pre-season, but it is all about getting the fitness up and just trying out different youth players to see who we could play possibly in like the Carabao Cup or FA Cup or even the league as well. We also had the Community Shield loss last weekend to Leicester, which, I mean, it's not the end of the world because we're still playing players who were in pre-season, and we're still waiting on the likes of the Brazilian players and the English players to come back. So it was a bit of a mishmash in pre-season, but I mean, as long as nobody gets injured and everyone gets the fitness up and feels sharp, then I am more than happy about how pre-season goes. I think this weekend the only player that's really out with injury is Phil Foden. I think he's out for another month with a foot injury that kept him out of the Euros final against Italy. So he's still having the effects of that. I think De Bruyne, I've heard things about he might not play, but he is in training, so it is a question mark on whether he'll play, or if he does play, maybe he'll just play for like half an hour and something like that. And yeah, I'm really excited about Man City. I think the signing of Jack Grealish has lifted a lot of players up. And yeah, I'm really excited about how this season is going to go. So I'll finish this video off by going through my starting 11 that I'm going to predict for this weekend and the scoreline. So in goal, Ederson. I mean, as much as Zach Steffen has done well in pre-season, with Ederson back, he's number one. So he's got to be in the starting 11, I reckon. In defence, I'm going to go with João Cancelo, John Stones, Ruben Diaz and Benjamin Mendy. I think Zinchenko has had a newborn recently, and I think he's still on like the maternity side of things, so I'm not sure whether he would play on that reason. And I think as well he's only come back recently for pre-season, and I don't think his fitness is up just yet. So I think Mendy, given the games that he's played and being a bit more sharp, I could understand him being in the starting 11. In midfield, I'm going to go with Fernandinho because, again, he's been playing in pre-season and has done decent for us. And then I'm going to go with Gundogan a bit further in the midfield. And I want to say Kevin De Bruyne, but I don't know if he will play. But I'll say him anyways. And then God knows what we'll do if he's not playing. And then the front three, I'm going with Mahrez because he's been playing in pre-season and doing really, really well there. And striker, Gabriel Jesus. Like, I know he's only come back from playing for Brazil and everything like that, but I just think we need a striker up front. Like, we need a vocal point up front. Even if he doesn't do as much or score a goal this weekend, we still need him there. And then on the left, I think Jack Grealish is going to make his Premier League debut for Man City. And hopefully he has a fantastic game and he scores as the winner possibly. And the final score prediction that I'm going to go with, I'll go with 3-1 Man City. I think it won't be as easy to get the victory against Tottenham, but it will be something like 2-1 for ages, and then the game gets killed off with that final goal to make it 3-1. So that's my preview for the Tottenham game this weekend with Man City. I hope you have enjoyed my preview for that game. If you did, then be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace!